Hello. Today what I wanted to do is do a video on flint and steel. How to make a fire even in wet conditions. Also, how flint and steel works. Also, I want to show you a little kit that I've been throwing together, making my own fire steels. And I will be selling those as well. But today, you just seen me collect some grass. This is damp grass. What it has going for it, it's up in the air. It is kind of misty right now, so this is damp grass. But there is a way to still get it going even though. So in this bag here, I have a tin and a piece of flint, a hand-forged striker that I made. Now I recycle these from old files. A package of jute twine for a quick bird's nest. Today we're so wet that would come in handy. And a little baggie with char cloth to make it easier to light an ember. So that's what's in this little kit right here. But I'm going to use this flint, this striker, and some different char cloth and show you how to light this. I'm going to also explain what it's doing and how it works. This here is my tinder pouch and flint and steel kit. My flint and steel and some charred material is in here. But I have I twisted this into a rope so it takes up less of a pouch, but it's dried grass. A lot of people back in the day used to have dry tinder on them at all times when they had flint and steel. Also, I have some shredded birch bark here, some shredded bark, and as well cedar bark. That was a nest that had fallen out of a tree. I believe it was a squirrel nest. It was the filling. You can see what it looks like. Great for making into a tinder bundle. So I've got a few dry material pieces in here that I don't have to use damp. So I'm going to put that away. But in here I have two strikers. This one here I made a couple years back now, I believe. And that is a Damascus one that Darren at Lone Forge Blades made. And you can see in here I have char cloth in there plus some flint. So I can strike an ember right into this and light my material or take a piece out and so on. So in damp conditions, why this is so great is you can keep adding char cloth or charred material as needed to dry it out. So we're going to use a lot of char cloth so it lasts a long time to dry out that damp grass. So this is flint and steel. A ferrocerium rod is not flint and steel. This is a piece of steel, and that is a rock. That's a piece of flint. English flint, actually, that came from Europe. Now, how this works is the flint, there's many rocks that will work for this, but it's harder than the steel. And when you strike, you're shaving little pieces of steel off of your striker. With the friction of hitting it, it heats it up and then it goes into the air, adding oxygen, and you get your spark. This is a lot weaker spark than a ferrocerium rod. Since this has a weak spark, you have to prepare your material to catch that weak spark. Charred material, charred natural material, charred cloth, and so on catches a spark very easily and smolders. That's why a lot of folk use it with the Flint and Steel. Now, certain fungus and such can do the same thing with very little processing. So it's a weak spark, but when you strike, it's shaving little pieces off. Now, this is a striker, like I said, that I have created, forged, but you can see the sparks just fly off of this. Now what we're going to do is try to light up some char cloth and see if we can make a fire and blow it into flame in that tinder bundle that I just created. So what I've done is made 2 piles of twigs. That is going to provide me a tinder bundle that's going to catch and actually last a little bit, and I just have to add a little bit more twigs, and finger size, I've got a fire going. Now my tinder bundle, all I did was bend this around like this, and I'm going to make a little pocket in here. I'm going to drop my char cloth in here, light it in here, set this right on top of this pile of twigs. And then I can take the other twigs and set it right on top, and I can blow right through here. Now that allows that the heat I'm causing to go through is already starting to ignite these as well. So I already have a big pile of wood that's starting. I can set it down, add a little bit more brush and my sticks. Also, it gives me something to hang on to way down here, and it's less risk of burning myself. That's the way I like to make a tinder bundle. I'm going to grab a big old piece of char cloth here, charred material, just so it will last a long time to dry this out. I'm going to just take that, set it in here like this, add a little bit more, and see if I can get that lit. And then close it up and blow it into flame. Try to light this. There we go, it's lit. Take that, I'll close that around like this. Put this right on top of it. Start blowing. Now you got to remember that this is going to take a little bit longer just because it is wet. Keep closing it in on itself. Ooh, got some flame. Got a little bit of flame going. We keep getting flame, but it is struggling. Now I would already have this lit if this was dry, but I can feel the dampness in it. We keep getting it lit. There we go. Is it gonna stay? Now I could keep adding your more charred cloth on it if I wanted to. But as you see, even with damp material, I was still able to make it work. And now it's burning wood. And as you see, I've got quite a fire in my hands. I'm not burning myself using this method of tinder bundle. So you have just seen fire with flint and steel with damp material just collected while it's misty out. So it can be done, but it just means you have to add more char cloth to sustain heat for longer to dry it out. It kept lighting and slowly go out, and light and go out, but we had success. So this here is the fire steel that I made, hand forged, and that's a piece of flint. This is going back in a kit, and it will be going to a home. So I'm loving making these fire steels, and I test each one, make sure it throws sparks, but it just, you don't even have to try pretty much. It works so well. Now these are hardened steel, because the harder the steel, the finer little pieces of metal that is shaved off and creates a spark. If you tried that with mild steel, it would actually cut deeper and you wouldn't get sparks because they're too thick what they're shaving off. You want a hard steel. I wouldn't want to throw this on a rock because it may break the handle off and such, but use it properly. This could last you a long time. I want to thank you for watching. Hopefully this lets you understand fire steels and also flint and steel method of fire making. Take care, all the best, and this time of year, happy holidays.